Good question. After the Bergevin, I just always associate him with the Habs, but that sooner or later he's probably going to be getting.
God,
Don't nick your ball sack. Get the lawnmower 4.0.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, I can't see him being here any longer. At the longest, like 2 to 3 years in the future.
Hey guys.
God, I hope he's gone by then.
Don't cut open your taint. Get the lawnmower 4.0.
We are not sponsored, but if you'd like to, lawnmower.
It's playoff season.
It is.
It is playoff season, and here we go,
We already
gentlemen.
have one round done.
One round done. One round. Yes.
One team.
One team's moved on. So yes, welcome back everybody to the Fifth Line podcast. That is how we're starting it today, gentlemen.
We're starting. I mean, we have to. It's
Right
been
into it.
playoffs.
Yes.
We gotta
It is
dive right in.
playoffs. So we're gonna start, and we're actually gonna start in the West. We're just gonna take a look at each series that's happening, and we're just gonna talk about them a little bit. Let's go with the easy one. Colorado St. Louis. It's already over. It ended literally about 10 minutes ago from when we are starting recording this podcast.
Which Colorado, eh?
It's Colorado. Three of you are looking good right now.
Wait, who didn't choose Colorado?
I mean, I chose him to win, but you guys all have him winning.
Oh, yeah.
Just
true.
The cup.
Yeah.
No, we all have one correct. So well done, us. You know.
Hey, we all got one round.
We
Let's
got
go,
one
boys.
right. It was the easiest one.
We picked the President's Trophy winners to come out of the first round. Look at us, Gav.
I mean,
Look at us.
God,
I know.
dude. I mean, you can only find this genius here on the Fifth Line podcast.
Only here. Only here.
Nobody else chose them. Okay. So yeah, they moved on. The game scores, and it wasn't even close in the games.
No, it
either.
wasn't.
Pounded them.
Game 1, 4-1 Colorado. Game 2, 6-3. Game 3, 5-1, and then the final game tonight was 5-2. With one of them was an empty netter.
Jesus.
So it was not close.
Guess not.
Unlike,
Holy.
I'll say, another series, but not one that we're gonna go to right now. Minnesota, Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Minnesota's they're struggling.
They're struggling a little. I mean,
They're struggling.
you can only expect so much from a team like that when their carrier is a rookie
Yeah.
coming into his first
Yeah,
playoffs.
when your
like,
X factor is your X factor that was what won
It's
you
different.
most of your games is just a first year player. Yeah, I mean they're probably gonna be good for a few years now.
Oh, I think
and
so.
this was just kind of like the first little taste because you get that with good teams where a team will have to just kind of, I mean usually it doesn't take like Toronto and take like 3 or 4 years.
True.
But
We just had to get that shot in there, did you, Benny?
I did. But
It's okay. We'll be talking
usually-
about Toronto here shortly.
Oh yeah.
And they went to work on your boys today. So
They usually a team will have to do like a round or two, maybe a first for a couple years before they can kind of get some playoff experience under them, and then a core you'll tend to see get to third or fourth round. So
They got a
I
good
think they'll
goalie.
be fine. I think they'll be fine.
they got a good goalie
Down the road.
tandem there.
They
So.
do, yeah.
Yes, Talbot and is it Kakkonen there?
Kokkonen.
Kakkonen.
Yeah, it's like is
probably.
it? It's not Capo, but it's like Kakkonen.
I think it's like
Kako.
it's something Kokkonen.
Something weird, dude. But I mean, they're
Super
going up.
Finnish,
Speaking
dude.
of goalies, they're going up against. It seems like the best in the business at this point.
Bro, Marc-Andre Fleury is a monster this year. What is going on? He's like 30 what? 35?
Wisdom of age, dude. I don't
But
know.
this is easily one of the best seasons he's ever had in his career, and it's happening now.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah, and
But
also
good on him.
Also, wait, that's not right. But he had a shutout in Game 4. So,
Jesus.
there's that. And I thought
He is 36 years old.
I thought I saw somewhere that was his 16th postseason shutout, but I feel like that's too much. But
I mean,
he's been in
this is
15.
his 15th. Yeah, like it
15th
might not
straight.
be.
So it may very well may not be. So if not,
Yeah. My God.
that's a lot.
It's hilarious because he was for like a couple. He had 2 or 3 years in Pittsburgh that just were not working.
Like right
And
towards the end.
in that period, no, it wasn't even right towards the end because towards the end it actually came back around and they got 2 cups before he got shipped out.
That was Murray.
And he was but
He was backing
from
up
what I
Murray.
remember, he played a role in both of the runs though. I think like I think
And
in
he
one of
played a
them
couple
he
games.
Well,
he
didn't one of
played,
them
like,
he was
got
the
him through,
regular?
like, the first 2 rounds.
Yes, Murray went down in warm-ups, a series against Columbus, a first-round series against Columbus. Murray
Yeah.
went down in warm-ups, and Fleury had to step in and get them
okay.
through the first.
He got
yeah.
because I was like there was one where he actually played, but it was what I was getting to was he had a reputation as bad in the playoffs for quite a while. So it's just kind of hilarious to see him now
Doing
just
this.
being like, all right, I am going to own the hell out of this team, which he also did though in 2018 against Winnipeg. Winnipeg should have won that series. It should have been Winnipeg versus Washington, but Marc-Andre Fleury stood on his friggin' head, and he appears to be doing that again.
Yes.
So good luck, Colorado.
He's gonna do the same with Seattle.
Yeah, that would be. I honestly, that would be low-key amazing if
That'd
he
be
just
so funny.
he just jumps from like team to team to just start them off. Like I'm going to
Get 'em
provide
started.
you 2 to 3 amazing years and maybe bring you to a cup final. Every expansion team,
Yeah.
yeah. Every expansion team gets Marc-Andre Fleury.
That so that series is not done yet. It is 3-1. Vegas has the lead, and they've won the last 3. So, and they were all pretty handy wins. They weren't too close.
I
And
bet
they
you it'll
were-
take.
You think it takes? You think? Oh, excuse me. You
Yeah.
think Minnesota grabs the next one?
Probably.
I wouldn't mind
Minnesota-
seeing it.
What is it? 2 games at their own state or at own arenas. So was Minnesota back home?
They will be away in this next one.
Be in
They'll be in
Vegas.
Vegas, but they won game 1 in Vegas, so it was a nail
Well,
biter
maybe.
though, and I think
Yeah.
it was Talbot.
You know, one thing I'm going to say about that series, I remember when we were doing our bracket picks, I was like, Marc-Andre Fleury, playoff Marc-Andre Fleury, like, he's going to be good. They're going to overpower Minnesota. I just, no faith in Cam Talbot. And then game 1, he gets like a 42 save shutout.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, all right, thanks.
Yeah, that was funny.
Goalies are gonna goalie sometimes in the playoffs.
Every
That's
now
what
and then.
makes NHL playoffs like the weirdest of all of them. I think.
There's just so
Oh, yeah.
much randomness that can happen.
Yeah.
And both goalies in that series have been, on each side, have been fantastic.
Very
so.
good, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, the West, like, even though I picked Minnesota, this is all just kind of playing out. Like,
How we it
yeah,
was expected,
like,
for sure. And how
yeah.
I picked it. I think how we all picked it, actually, except Ben.
I was just trying to be an idiot. with my
It's,
bracket,
yeah, dude.
mostly.
You don't have to try.
Thanks.
Wow.
God
I'm just
damn.
kidding. I'm just kidding. I just had to do that because you put it right in the strike zone for me.
I did.
All right, let's go to the East then. You guys want to talk about the East a little bit?
Who are the East? Which one's that? Is that
Boston
the
versus Washington.
Boston?
I
Yeah.
would like to
yeah.
pat myself on the back there. It's not done yet.
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
damn
I
close.
think that series is going Boston at this point.
I did
I don't have
not
a lot of
think
faith in Washington. It seems like
Washington would be-
Ovechkin's more worried about going after hits. Like he's just going
Wants to
blowing guys
lay-
up every game.
Wants to lay some dudes.
They are currently up 1-0 in the second period of their game. That would clinch them the series.
Yes, that is true.
So
Second
just
period.
interesting.
Washington's looked old. Like the first 2 games, like they played good. But it's just I watched the couple nights ago. Would have been the last game, not obviously today, but the one
Yeah.
before that. And it's just like they're an older team anyway, right? So it's just that
Boston's
they're
not-
showing their age going
Yeah.
into the. And I know Boston's not a young team either,
Yeah.
but it seems like Boston probably has a little bit more depth or with younger guys anyway.
They do
I
have
don't
some
know.
decent younger guys farther down the lineup that probably help them out.
Yeah, that Antha and Vrana trade's looking real good right now.
Friggin' right.
Charlie Coyle got
Yeah.
a goal the other night too.
I
Oh, yeah,
picked.
he did.
I just picked Boston because I don't know, dude. It was honestly a feeling. I was like,
Yeah.
I mean, betting on the Bruins in the
It's never a bad
playoffs is
thing.
generally not a bad idea.
Yeah, that was pretty much
it's not
it. I was
really
like-
ever a bad idea.
Like the Caps have done this like one time.
Yeah, they've really only had 1 year where they've gotten over the hump.
Boston's done it almost every year.
They like go on a conference run at least, usually.
If they don't have to face the red hot Bolts in the second round. Oh, that was a fun series.
Yeah, I mean, 2 really good teams. But
Oh, it
to
wasn't
focus
close.
on series that are going. Oh yeah, that was a sweep, wasn't it?
No, it was 4-1, and one of the games was like 7-1, and at the end, the Lightning players would score and they wouldn't even celebrate. They would just skate back to the bench.
Yeah.
It was sort of sad. I was like, oh my god, get him off the ice.
That's rough. But to go to a series that's actually happening right now, your boys, Eric. How you been feeling about your boys?
Oh my god, dude, that series is.
I've
love
been
it. It's
seeing a lot of it.
I think it's
'cause-
gonna be a nail biter to the
It's
end.
great. Yeah, I do too. Because the Islanders are oh my god, like one game they're just like, how
Let's
do we
score.
score again? When do we shoot? Do we shoot
Is it
when
now?
it's a 2-on-1, or do we shoot from the point through a maze of bodies? No, but all right. I wanna say
Oh,
this.
the
yes.
Habs are real good at the from the
Yeah.
point through a maze of
Yeah,
bodies. That's
through a
their
maze of
specialty
bodies.
too.
I will say though, it was amazing though. I think they lost this game, but Scott Mayfield finally did like a little pullback instead of shooting into someone and then just ripped it glove side. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah,
But you know,
I
that
was
series,
watching that one with my sports editor, Islanders
Oh, okay.
fan friend.
Oh yeah,
that
yeah,
is-
yeah. What's his name?
Joey.
Joey.
Yeah.
I feel your pain with the series, man. It's gonna be a nail biter.
Joey's
But do you
Islanders
think
guy?
do you think your boys have it? Yeah, they are. Yeah, he is.
To be
Nick.
honest, if Sorokin keeps playing like he's playing, I think they do. All right, this is a weird thing with the Islanders. So it's not like Varlamov has played bad. I think the Islanders fan base is really hard on him, honestly, because if you look at the Pittsburgh wins, like Pittsburgh scores 5 goals and a lot of them are defensive breakdowns. The game winner that Tanev scored the other night out of midair, come on, like
Yeah, there's
come
not
on,
much you
that's a
can do
fluke.
there.
that's a fluke play. Like nothing. It's a skill play, but it's a fluke play in the sense like Tanev, he swung at it and he hit it. Okay,
That's not
but-
something that happens normally.
no, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, unless you're Sidney.
Unless you're
If
Sidney Crosby, yes.
I'd be like, okay, yep, that's a
You know
normal
what? You know what? You gotta expect that from Sid.
yeah.
You gotta
But,
tie a stick up.
Yeah, dude. In game 1, he had a one-handed deflection goal.
Oh my god,
Someone shot
that
it from
was
the point. Yeah.
He's
that was
still
so-
pretty good at that hockey.
that was so good because like normally you'd look at that and you'd be like, he just threw a stick out there, but
Mhm.
he like tilted it in a way. He knew
Yeah.
what he was doing. Oh my
Yep.
god, so insane.
Yeah, and speaking of Crosby, I will say so. The Islanders again. I think Malkin and Crosby haven't done anything. Crosby has a goal, no assists through 4 games. That's it. So
Knocking
the
them
Islanders
down.
are shutting. Yeah, they are. The problem is the Penguins. That fourth line the Penguins have is just really giving it to the Islanders, which is funny because that's like the Islanders in the playoffs in the past used to pride themselves on doing that. Zizekas, Clutterbuck, and Martin line would always just give it to team. And that would be what was driving the momentum. I think again back to the Varlamov thing. I think Varlamov's been great, but the Islanders are just playing better with Sorokin in, so just keep him in. Like both goalies have played fine, in my opinion. Varlamov's made some. I think he's been tested way more than Sorokin's had to be tested, other than game 1 maybe.
Hmm.
But I think the Islanders, if they can win in Pittsburgh and take it home, I think they have the series. If it goes 7, I honestly couldn't tell you. I don't know what's going to happen. But Barry is the coach, so I want to say I have more faith in a game 7 with Trotz.
You can never say you know what's gonna
Probably.
happen in a game 7.
That is true.
Yeah. Game 7s are wild.
But yeah, I think they have it. It's been an entertaining series. They hate each other. These two teams do not like each other, and I
Yeah.
love that. I'm
It seems like
"It's
every
some
team hates each
entertainment."
other.
It's true. Yeah, it really
Yeah.
does.
Well, those slates, the friggin' only divisional play like seasons
Helped
didn't
that.
help with that because
Yeah.
like we're just gonna put you in like a friggin' cage match all season, playing each other like at least 8 times a piece,
Yeah,
and then on the first 2 rounds you're only gonna play each other again.
they
Like playoffs
definitely-
are always rough no matter what, and then they're just
They definitely
this year
uh,
it's
yeah. They definitely kind of, the way the season went, definitely leads into this. Leads into the hate. I will say this about the Pittsburgh Islanders series. Islanders have won the only blowout game. Every other game's been by one.
That's true.
1 goal.
4-0.
So my pick could be wrong.
Which a 4-0 game out of the Islanders?
I think it was
What's going
4-1.
on?
Dude, that's what I mean.
Or
What's
4-1?
going on?
I thought it
4-1,
ended up
yeah.
4-0.
Oh, also you have classic Islanders. It's 4-0, and then they have a power play late in the game, and then they give up a shorthanded goal. Way to win! Way to win! Exclamation! Oh my god! But last thing I will say, Anders Lee, we miss you so dearly. Please come back.
Is he slated? Is it like slated to have him back at some point in the playoffs for long? Or okay,
I honestly don't know.
It's unfortunate.
But entertaining series. I want to watch good hockey, and I hope the Islanders can squeak it out. So.
Now, Mike.
I hope the Pittsburgh Penguins can squeak it out for my bracket.
For my bracket, if Pittsburgh wins, okay. If they lose,
no.
I'm liking this Islanders pullback here. I need them to keep that up. But Mike,
pull out.
What about your boys?
Oh, they're doing okay, you know.
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been watching any of that series. I've just because
it
was always
out.
on at time. I know everybody's been saying it's been amazing, but like the games have always been on at times that like it just hasn't lined up. Like the last game was on when I was playing golf today. I just haven't seen any of it. But how has it been?
So it's been pretty good. The first game, my God, they played bad in the first game. It was sloppy, and they were letting Florida do what Florida likes to do, which is they like to fly the zone quick. So they were giving up odd man rushes like almost every time Florida would break out of their zone. And so they ended up winning the first game 5-4. It was like a last second. It was
Braden Point, right?
Braden Point on the breakaway with like 1:14 left.
Unstoppable.
That's rough. I know how that feels, Florida fans getting scored on in the last second by Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
when it's about to go to overtime.
Get shat on. Yeah, it was T Dick, wasn't it?
That was T Dick that
time.
Boo,
yeah. I wish he would do that now.
Friggin' Tyler Johnson, that man haunts my nightmares.
I think you're the only one.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they got game 2 3-1. That one they played way better defense and that. Then the next game they played crappy again, and it was another high scoring one, and Florida took it in OT. And then this last game, I think Vasi really bailed them out a lot, and they won 6-2. And also apparently, because I was also golfing and was also unable to see it, I read a bunch of articles, and there's a dude on Twitter that I follow that is a Bolts guy. And apparently Florida was running around, and I saw some of the video, and they were really just trying to hurt Tampa Bay Stars, is what it really looked like.
Didn't they got Duclair? I heard slashed Kucherov. I didn't see the video.
He slashed. The slash didn't look that bad to me, but Kuch went down, so I'm thinking maybe he caught him like behind the knee without padding hard enough to
got a tendon or a ligament or something. Yeah.
Because he went down and then left in the third. He went down in the third and left and didn't come back. And Sergachev, Hornquist boarded Sergachev so bad, he was 5 feet away from the boards and sent him into it at like the most awkward angle. And I don't know if anything was called because I didn't watch the game. I don't think they called anything.
There hasn't been any fines or suspensions either, I don't think.
And then Sergachev left and didn't come back.
Well, that's not ideal.
And then John Cooper almost laid into the refs after, but he probably didn't want to get fined, so he didn't. But you could tell he had more to say in his press conference that I watched.
There's been a lot of that going around.
Dude, the officiating, it's just going down. It hasn't plateaued yet. It's still going downhill. It's still getting worse. At some point, can they figure their shit out? Just call the rule book.
Did you see the goalie interference call last night? That was not goalie interference.
Vegas and Minnesota.
Oh wait, you talking about that one?
Right next.
The Vegas one? I didn't see that one. Oh,
Nick,
we might have lost Nicholas. Oh, never mind.
Hello.
Yeah,
you're talking about Vegas though.
My shit keeps glitching out. Yeah, it was the Vegas one from last
Okay,
night.
I haven't seen that.
I didn't
one.
see that either.
No, he was. I mean, he's right. He's covering the goalie, right? And
Mhm.
he's not in the crease. He's not touching him.
Mhm.
And then they call goalie interference, and they call the goal back.
He was in the crease, but he was half in the crease, and that's where the
Like a skate.
weird gray area. Yes, that's where the
Okay,
weird.
so
But he didn't fucking touch him. That's the thing.
Yeah,
That's like
yeah.
it's like all these. We know all these like classic goalie interference calls that
Yeah.
like you'll blow up a goalie and
Yeah.
not even get it called sometimes. But
Yeah.
like he barely did anything, and they call it. I'm like, what the fuck are the referees like on the Knights payroll or something? Like, what's going on here?
They just suck.
So, Mike, maybe the Habs coach Dom Ducharme saw that replay and he was like, "Hey, got to do it in our
You know
game
what?
too."
It very well could have been that.
That was really
it very
bad.
It very well could have been that. We're gonna get to that for sure, because I'm sure Ben's got an entire like 5-page monologue lined up.
I do.
So we'll get to that momentarily. But yes, the Lightning are up 3-1. They can close it out tomorrow. Hopefully, there's no other injuries, and hopefully they close it out. And hopefully the refs can pull their heads out of their asses and start doing their jobs. Thank you, assholes. Because here's the thing, Kuch and Sergachev go down. If they don't play them next game and win, which could very well happen because that's how good Tampa Bay is, they could be going forward in the playoffs without these two guys. Just because here's my issue with it. It's like that's the game, like things happen. The Duclair slash is BS, but
Yeah.
like the Hornquist hit, it was bad and it should have been a call, but like that stuff happens. But not when it's 5-2 halfway through the third. Like that there's malicious intent there, guys, I think.
There probably should have been something called and something happened after the fact, like a fine or like.
Yeah, it's
But
whatever.
I don't try to understand anything that's going on within referees or the Department of Player Safety's mind anymore. I'd like who the fuck knows?
There's no understanding it.
Like
There's no understanding it.
like it.
All right, let's scream through this Carolina-Nashville series. This one's actually getting intense.
Nashville making it something.
Yes, Nashville is making it something.
Come on.
It is. Yeah, Nick
well,
is having
we
some
lost
issues,
Nick. Well, hopefully he'll be back. Oh, there we go.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Nick.
Dude.
Oh, that was really. I don't know why that was so funny, but it was.
Dude.
My internet's so bad right now. I've glitched like 4
guess
times
so, man.
and
Jeez.
been out of it for like 30 seconds.
Dang. You got Spectrum?
Like 4 different times now.
Wow. I mean, if it is Spectrum, that would make sense. Spectrum's usually pretty shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
I got Spectrum. It ain't bad. But I'm also
not that great up here.
I'm hardwired in, so
Yeah, I'm wireless. So that's probably part of it.
yeah.
But where we're at?
Yes.
Okay,
So Nashville has tied up the series. They tied it up earlier today. So it's
Double
2-2
OT.
now. Another double OT game. Because I think game 3 was double OT as well.
and from the shot, I haven't been paying that much attention to that series, but from the shot totals I've been seeing, UC Saros has been
Yes.
on a real one lately. Like he appears to be doing it. So
The only
who
reason
knows?
they've won.
Hot goalie.
I think
Hot goalie. The
everyone's-
momentum of two
Yeah.
in a row double OT wins.
But that's the thing.
I don't know.
They've only won close games in double OT.
They can keep doing it. That's
They
because
can,
that's
but I don't
exactly
think
how,
it's likely.
that's exactly how the Habs are gonna have to win a series too. So like
True.
but like I and the thing is, there's like enough guys from that Nashville team left, like hanging around from that 2017 run. There's a playoff guy. Like I don't know. I could see him doing it.
I could see them winning this game or this series maybe, but they're not
They'll
going any farther.
immediately lose the next series. Yeah, it'll be like they're gonna, if they do win it, it'll be getting out by the skin of their teeth and then probably getting eviscerated the next series.
By whoever
But-
makes it out, yeah.
Yeah, I could see it happening though.
Oh, they could totally do it. I don't think they will. Because they've only won double OT games.
I mean, it's
don't think-
not how you want to play.
I don't think so. So essentially now it's that makes it a best of 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see them taking 2 off of Carolina in the last 3. I just don't.
Probably not.
I
That's,
think
that's my view on it.
I
You see
think that,
Saros, man. Who knows?
well,
Yeah,
okay,
okay.
so I think the most underrated goaltender battle of the playoffs is that series with Nedeljkovic or whatever his name.
Yeah.
Close
And
enough.
Saros. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, bud.
I don't know how to say it either.
Yeah.
You were close-ish, I think.
Are they not playing?
Is it
They're not playing
Nedeljkovic?
Mrazek.
Something like that.
Nedeljkovic?
Nedeljkovic or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, something like
No,
Ned.
Nedeljkovic became. Yeah, that's his nickname, I think. But yeah, he
course
kind
it is.
of became their de facto starter down the stretch. I think. I think he got hot.
Yeah. He's played phenomenal. The only reason that
He
game
played
went
well
into
today.
overtime was because of a clutch save he made. So that's pretty impressive. And I think that series comes down to home ice advantage because both buildings are rocking. And when
Yeah,
Carolina
they
is
are.
home, oh my God, do they feed off of that
Dude,
crowd?
that is
So,
sweet. That is.
yeah, it's pretty
I've
awesome.
loved seeing so many. They got them full just about. There's a couple. There's
Yep.
seats behind the benches that they don't put people in, but other than
Yeah.
that, they're full. And man, I love to see it.
I think it's like 12,000 only still.
Oh, is it?
In
looks full.
North Carolina? Like I think they're just doing things that are making it like look fuller
Mhm.
on TV. Like
Oh, okay.
there's like pretty big chunks of people, but then they'll have like a few like stand-ins like here and there that like separate it a bit
Okay.
from what I've seen. But yeah, no, they're getting up there, and it's good
I'm
to
hype.
see. Yeah,
I want to go to a Bulls game so bad.
yeah, it would be fun.
God. But yeah, so series is now tied at 2, and go Canes.
No, go Preds. From
Oh.
my bracket alone.
All right, Ben.
Hey Ben,
This is-
before we get into the next
Oh,
team,
okay,
Ben, if
okay.
they open up the border, are you going up for the playoffs?
Ooh,
I mean, they would have to do it fucking soon.
they would.
I actually no, I'm not gonna be like that. I'm gonna be optimistic.
He will
be
go to a second round game.
I'm gonna be optimistic. Well, actually, they would have to probably make the cup finals because
Yeah, it's not. It wouldn't
it's not
progress
gonna
that
be.
quick.
No, it's not. Which is highly unlikely. But I will say, through 2 games. Well, first to start, very glad to see that. I mean, he's still gonna have just a fucking concussion, like a concussion. But glad to see otherwise. John Tavares is largely okay after that because I was not watching it live because I was at work and fucking NHL TV with their blackouts. They consider NHL Network a local channel.
Yeah.
And blacked it out because anyway.
NHL
I was
TV still
listening-
works?
Yeah. Or it can in very rare occasions. Like there's like some of those Vegas games have been on their local like thing and it brings that
What?
anyway. But like the
NHL TV
blackouts
hasn't been
get
working.
crazy in playoffs. Like the blackouts get largely
Maybe that's why,
wiping
yeah.
everything out. But I was listening to just radio anyway, so I didn't see that happen. But then, as I was just at work, I just popped up Twitter and like I started to see the
Clips.
gifs of it, and I was like, Jesus, like.
And what they did bad about that too was they kept showing it. Like
I heard about that after. I'm like, okay, yeah, I understand. Like, if you're coming from intermission
Gotta add
and you
context.
to make sure.
yeah, I've
Context.
seen some major sports
Like,
injuries.
Twice or maybe 3 times, and then after that, people have seen it. Okay, done.
They can go to Twitter.
Yeah.
So yeah, exactly. Go somewhere else and stop showing it on air. I've seen some major sports injuries in the last like 10 years, right? You've seen some of these gruesome
Oh,
things.
dude,
I remember one.
I hate him, dude.
I remember one from the NCAA tournament. Guy broke his leg in
Oh,
half.
I hate it. I hate
that
it.
is
that
one of my
boxing
least
one
favorite
that was
ones.
that they showed it once on air, and then they the guy. It was
The
not
foot.
too long ago.
Talking
The
about
guy
the foot.
stepped backwards and broke his leg in
Nick,
half. Yeah.
you sent
Oh
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was terrible.
I don't watch
But,
those
like,
because
at
people
least
I
those-
see it and I'm like,
I remember the one from the NCAA tournament with Louisville, Kevin Ware, the most because they showed it. It was you could see it live. They showed it one other time and did not show it again.
You're not
they
supposed to.
refused to show that again.
It
And
probably would have
I
been
was
good
like,
to
I
do
kept
that
seeing
with
it.
this.
I kept seeing it and seeing it and seeing it. I was like, what the fuck is happening? Stop showing this.
Yeah. You don't need to do like full 10-minute breakdown on. All right, yep. Let's
here comes
yep.
here comes the knee.
It was a
And there it is.
really bad knee.
And then the next day, the article, I don't even know who posted it. Some Canadian like newspaper obviously did it, but it was like
Put it on
the
the front.
snapshot of Corey Perry's knee going into his
Yeah.
head. And I'm like,
there were a couple.
So
There
now you're
were
making Corey
yeah.
Perry a villain in this when he blatantly came out and was like,
clearly an accident.
I did not want to do
Yeah.
that to him. And he's
I
like,
never thought I'd be coming to the mat for Corey Perry in a like, is it a dirty play situation? But like, it wasn't. Like,
don't
it was
think-
just a terrible like accident, and it's just good to see that he's largely okay and is hopefully going to be
Yes.
able to recover. I hope there's not any long-term side
was
effects because
my-
concussions
that was my
are
thing.
very roll of the dice in terms of how they affect people.
Yes.
It
and that'll
could
be a bad one.
he could heal for and my thought process is that looks like an impact that would cause a pretty bad one.
Well, I
Like
mean,
he
Jesus.
caught that knee, like
Did you see him after?
yeah, and that was probably the scariest part. I think
That's what
was
freaked
like
me
when
his body goes
he was
limp.
he was trying to sit himself up, and then he's just like, oh nope, not sitting up. I'm just like, oh geez,
like-
that was when I like was watching it back on Twitter, and like I saw that, I was like, oh shit, okay, and just very glad he's okay. But then after that, they had to play a hockey game, which is kind of wild. Like, you just see that happen, and it's like they're just expected to be like, oh yeah, just yep, hockey now,
Keep going.
just go.
Yep.
It's kind of crazy. But then not long after return to play again, Josh Anderson on a break in. Josh Anderson looked great that game. Like,
did.
Did
And
he
I
almost
think
obliterate Simmons too?
he almost obliterated Simmons like on the first rush, and like he was literally like that connecting. It would have been rough. But yeah, aside from that, he also was just running around. Like, he was going in terms of offensively. Like, he had several really good high danger chances, one of which he put in. So that was pretty good. And then the other big thing that had to go right for the Habs to have any chance in this was have Carey Price be on. And in that first game, he was friggin' on. The second game, I'm going to get more to it, but I think that largely came down to they gave friggin' Toronto like 5 power plays in the second period alone, and you're not going to have a good time if you do that.
I saw Kotkaniemi pissing and moaning about it, and I was watching that game, and I was like, they can't not call those.
Yeah.
Like, you broke one of them.
which-
You broke it. One of them was a
Yes.
thing, and one of them the stick
Yeah.
broke. Like, come on. not call
So
those.
I want to finish being happy for a second, Mike. I got to talk about the win.
No.
Because that Paul, I'm wearing the shirt. Byron on the
Yeah,
back.
that was a sick goal.
Paul Byron Cole. Like, it's been something. It's been. I think the Habs finished with 8 or 9 shorthanded goals on. I'm curious to see how many they might be able to get in the fucking playoffs. They're far more dangerous shorthanded than they are in the power play, so at least they got one special team going offensively.
Someone commit a penalty. We need some momentum.
We need some momentum because even in like there were moments, like, obviously they gave up a good few power play goals, but there were like 2 or 3 chances in last night's game. I noticed that they had shorthanded chances and almost like snuck one in. And I don't know. It's just so weird that they have that so figured out.
That is
And they
odd.
have 6-on-5 really figured out too. Like, that they had 6-on-5 for like 4.5 minutes at the end of last night, and they had control almost the entire time. Like, they ended up getting a goal with like 30 seconds left. But like 6-on-5 up a man, they're great. Got lots of chances. I think I saw somebody posted a stat. They had like 5 or 6 6-on-5 goals just this regular season alone. They're great. They cannot figure out 5-on-4. They just can't. I don't know what it is. Actually, no, I did kind of figure it out yesterday.
What
They
is
have no cycle. They have no cycle game. All of their offense comes
okay.
off the rush or quick chances like that. Anytime they try to do any kind of cycling,
Doesn't work.
the most time they generate offense like in a like sustained pressure is when like the other team gets it and they just forecheck the, and they're just forechecking for like 30 seconds and they're not even cycling. And then sometimes it'll just like pop out a certain way and it'll just be like a quick passing play and it'll go in. Like, I think that's just why they're ass at power plays. They can't cycle. One, largely because they don't have that many good players. But
Yes.
also, I don't know what it is. They just don't have that much of a game. They just really heavily depend on rush chances, which you can't really get as many of when you give the other team 5 power plays
In the second
in one period.
Yeah.
Which, if anything, I mean, you were watching the game, right, Mike?
I did. I didn't
Or-
see all of them, but I remember seeing a few. And of the
But you
the
saw
few-
the first period, right?
I don't think I saw the first. I think I started watching in the second.
Same.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, the first period, when the Habs didn't take 5 penalties and play half or 4, I think it might only been 4. But either way, still not ideal. They got the game's first goal on a really good kind of like chippy rush play by Kotkaniemi. It wasn't anything spectacular, but like they were doing all the right things. They were forechecking really, really well. They were generating a lot, and then they gave up a goal, but it was still tied 1-1. Like it was a decent period. They looked pretty good, and I was like pretty okay with it. And then as soon I was like, all right, kill one, and they took another like 30 seconds. I was like, okay, let's not do this. And then they just kind of kept doing that. And then I don't know what that goalie interference challenge. I'm still trying to figure it out.
That was I think but it's so not.
Oh, I heard all their reasoning about why
it's
they
so
did it. It
not-
doesn't make any fucking sense. It was the dumbest coach's challenge I've ever seen. So not that they would have done well, even if they get scored on, they had just gotten scored on a penalty. They're down 3-1. He challenges that goal. If you just not challenge that, you're still down 3-1, but you can at least not be killing a penalty for another 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And you can maybe try to, maybe let's chip in 1 before the end of the second. Because there was still like 8 minutes left. Just get a few energy shifts. Maybe you get lucky, you get 1 before the end of the second, and you're much better. No, let's just go do the single dumbest coaching challenge I've ever seen and have to kill another 2-minute penalty, which the Leafs didn't score on, but you were still shorthanded for 2 minutes.
My favorite part was that they showed Bergevin up in the box.
Oh, that was
and
so
he was
bad.
Like, there, right there, right there.
So bad.
Pointing at the screen, and I'm like, what the hell is he
was so
pointing
bad.
at?
Which, okay, maybe if he had literally just gotten,
Oh my
he's
God.
just seeing that one angle quick, and Joe Thornton's stick is in the general vicinity.
Yeah.
I guess, but that is not something you'd be like, oh fuck yeah, and then see, there's a guy who apparently is within part of their video guide that had a walkie-talkie right fucking next to Mark, who as soon as Mark says something pointing at the TV is when that guy radios down, presumably to the Habs bench.
Yeah, you better challenge that
I
shit.
just I hated all of it.
It was bad. It was bad.
All.
Bergevin says challenge.
Yeah, there's no way to look at what happened and not see that. They said it was oh no, I think Dom Ducharme came out after and was like, no, agreement. And even if we weren't, final calls on me, but we were all in agreement. And okay.
Oh, you were all in agreement on something stupid.
It was real dumb. But just to kind of bow tie it all, because I've been talking about the Habs a lot now. I think they'll come out with a better game in game 3. I think they'll have at least Caulfield in.
He hasn't played yet.
He hasn't played yet. I think they'll have him in. Just they're at home, got last change. You can be a little more picky about who you're sending him out with. I don't know. You look at this team, they can't score goals. They've scored they scored the amount of games they've played in the last few, in the playoffs over the last few times they made it, where they've scored 2 or 1 goals. It's been both games this series.
Yeah.
They have a goal scorer in their back pocket, just chilling.
He's waiting.
Just a guy whose sole purpose is just to be a wrist shot that is fucking accurate as hell. No, why would you want? But anyway, I think he's gonna go in.
Okay.
I would, if Jake Evans can go. I don't even really know what he got injured with in that first game. I never saw news of it. He was out, so it didn't seem like it was anything crazy. I think he was just kind of out with like a day-to-day type injury. If he is good to go, please, for the love of God, take Eric Stahl out.
But the veteran experience, Ben.
Okay, sure. He had an overtime goal in his first game with the team against Edmonton. Awesome. Did not do dog shit all for the entire rest of the season, other than just fuck up any confidence Jesperi Kotkaniemi had and pushing him spot in the lineup for no reason.
Oh, they dropped him?
Terrible.
They dropped Kotkaniemi for Stahl?
No, it was as soon as Stahl showed up, Kotkaniemi started getting bumped down. All right, third or fourth line. Okay, we're going to play on the wing. Okay, we're going to do all these fucking things. Which he had it was literally, when Stahl got acquired, Kotkaniemi had just gotten to a point in the season where he was just kind of starting to build his confidence back up. He had started getting a point streak on power play, like that he'd been getting time on. It was just going well. And then, Eric Stahl, that's who we need. But he had a good game one. And then last night, holy, he's just like, Josh Anderson's fast. But then you give him a line of Josh Anderson, Corey Perry, and Eric Stahl.
That's who they had Anderson with?
You have so then you just have Josh Anderson. You just have Josh Anderson fly in the zone, and then about 5 paces backward is Corey Perry and Eric Stahl.
They got their walkers. We're coming, young fella.
Which I will defend Corey Perry because he has at least he's proved himself useful. If he's on a line with 2 other guys that can at least each other, he's proven himself useful at finding spots and doing stuff this year. Like, he's been decent. Eric Stahl has done none of that. If Jake Evans is good to go, I don't see how you pull him out for him, and I hope that happens. And I do think Caulfield's coming in. It wouldn't shock me if Romanov comes in for one on the defense, because God, it didn't show up so much in game one, but the lack of speed that the Habs have got so exploited last night. And that D core is just, you got Jeff Petrie.
It's pretty bad.
You got Jeff Petrie and Brett Kulak actually has kind of been because he's the only other mobile.
Yeah.
So I think Kulak needs more responsibility because he was great last year when they gave him that against Pittsburgh. He played great. I honestly think they need to look at Petrie Kulak again. Although Edmondson of the slow, honestly, I never thought I would have said this.
Here we go.
This is last point. I promise, because I do want to get to Edmonton, Winnipeg. Last point. I never thought that coming into the season of the bigger, slower Habs D men that I could have problems with. I never thought Joel Edmondson would be the one I have the problem with. He's been fine. He's gotten burned a few times because he's Joel Edmondson.
And he's trying to fight Simmons.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
Noob move, buddy.
But I don't know about all that. But when he's actually playing defense this year, he and Jeff Petrie have weirdly worked together. It's gone largely well. Ben Sherratt and Shea Weber.
Those are just 2 big, slow dudes. And one's old.
It worked okay game one, I guess. Because they sheltered Weber on the third line minutes with fucking Merrill, and they put Ben Sherratt with Brett Kulak, one of the only other mobile ones. Mm-hmm. And then Edmondson and Petrie just work together.
So here's my question: why did they, at risk of sending you on another tandem, why did they find something, win a game, and then change it? Because it seems like this happens a lot. You're like, they did fine the other night when they did this and this and this, and then then they did something different.
Because then one period goes wrong and they.
Oh, I see. They shit their pants.
I'm still new to this, but that was the other. Okay, this is actually the last point now.
He said that. This is the third time he said that now.
Yeah, this was the other thing that kind of pissed me off about last night was, he threw the line blender in going into the third, and I don't know why. Because I honestly think that game came down to the fact that they were just fucking idiots and took 4 penalties in the second period and it was you're not gonna have any sense. if you're playing almost half of it shorthanded. You're never going to get anything going. It's not going to happen. And before that, in the first period, admittedly, they're still looking a little rough, but like you could see signs of the Tatar, Gallagher, Deneau line getting going. Like they were getting chances. They were buzzing a little bit. Kotkaniemi looked great in that first period. He was moving. He got a goal. Like he was creating things. Like I didn't see anything in that game that was like, oh no, they need to change, guys. It was just they gave up. They had to kill like 8 minutes of penalties in a row, and they can't do that against an offense that good. As like it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
I don't know why they did the line blenders, because like by the end they had a line of Gallagher, Stahl, Anderson.
well, that's a weird one.
I mean, Gallagher and Anderson would be good together, but pick a better center.
I think they're gonna be doing something a little smarter coming for games. Like I said, I think the response from Game 3 is gonna be a bit better. I think in Game 1, the Habs got the worst version of the Leafs. Like the Leafs obviously were
They got thrown
affected by that thing that happened, and then they just never really played as well as they could. It was the other way around. Was Habs played a good first period and then got derailed penalty. They want to be in a game, which is they need to keep every game like the first game. It's gonna be 1-0, 2-1, 3-2 wins, or you're not making it out of the series. If you get into
a shootout,
if you get into a shootout with the Leafs, you're not gonna win. You don't have the talent.
Nope.
So,
but there's to be
Leafs
fair
have
to
too
the
much
Canadians.
firepower on that team.
To be fair to the Canadians, yeah, the Leafs. There's not too many teams that would win a shootout against the Leafs.
Right. So if they can stick to more Game 1 mentality, I think they're going to have a decent chance. And I think they're going to have Cole Caulfield in the next game, and that makes me happy. So on to Edmonton, Winnipeg.
Yes. Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, that was
scoring. Edmonton hasn't been scoring.
Edmonton's not scored. Their two top guys.
Well, they're up 2-0 tonight. They're up 2-0 tonight.
Draisaitl has 2 goals tonight.
Draisaitl has the 2
game
tonight. All right, so finally Draisaitl scores. Where the hell's
Before
McDavid?
that-
Where the hell is McDavid?
Here we
He's
go
got
again.
2 assists
McDavid goes
tonight.
dormant in the playoffs.
David's got 2 assists tonight.
Here's the thing: if they lose this series and they barely score, like we know what this team is without Draisaitl and McDavid putting up mountains of points. We know they don't
It's
win.
bad.
Yeah. Like their only hope is these two guys. Like, and come on, McDavid, this is the playoffs, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be they're largely getting Connor Hellebucked.
Is that what it is?
Like, I honestly haven't been watching it that closely, but from everything I've been reading and like the shot totals and highlights,
They've been close games.
Just good, and they've been close games. Like
the other night, the second Game 2 was an overtime 1-0 win for Winnipeg. So it's like pick a goalie. I'd rather have Connor Hellebuck on my team than Mike Smith.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Honestly, the 2 Canadian series
to be consistently
I
better.
would take Mike Smith too.
Yeah, the two Canadian series they're very much the same. The Oilers are the stronger, more firepower team, like the Leafs, and the Jets and the Habs are both just gonna be like, "Hey, goalies, do your thing, and we're gonna try to capitalize on chances."
Goalie.
Like,
I mean that. I don't know. I don't even know if I agree with that. Like, yeah, Draisaitl and McDavid are.
I'm not saying it's like a perfect
they are.
analogy.
Yeah. But like, thinking about it too, like Winnipeg's got a decent team. They have Luc Dubois. They have Scheifele. They have some good players on that defense. Yeah,
they are like the Leafs a couple years ago, and they didn't know how to play defense.
They have no defense, man.
And their forwards aren't even good at defense.
Yeah, they have
Or
no
even
defense. And
passable.
their forwards are not like good at playing defense, so it's Connor Hellebuck.
It is.
I think,
USA. Sorry.
Yes, USA. I think the big thing, like you were saying though, Mike, like, yeah, it's one of those things. Like, so Edmonton's this team though. If they're going to go anywhere in the playoffs, you need McDavid and Draisaitl will be scoring. But what you see for teams that like go deep in the playoffs is depth scoring, right? Do the Oilers have depth scoring ever?
No,
Big
they
question.
don't.
So like it's one of those things. Like I know, like again, Edmonton, it's the playoffs. Anything can happen. If McDavid and Draisaitl heat up, they can carry the team. But like, why I would never pick Edmonton to win the Stanley Cup currently is because of that. I just don't see depth when I look at that team. And like you were saying, Nick, that goal, that Stastny goal, he was just on the half wall and he just threw it at the net, and it's just like two guys on Edmonton were just kind of crossing. It just got through them. Smith didn't see it and it went in. Like it's like the game. Like think about it. The whole entire series changes. That Samsonov and Schultz, the miscue, and then Craig, who was Smith or whatever, Craig Smith.
Oh yeah,
Boston. I forget his name. Tucks it in. It was a miscommunication by Washington, and then momentum is just totally like it takes one play.
Just gone, yeah.
And it's just one of those things. But like Edmonton, they shoot themselves in the foot. They put themselves in a hole where like Mike Smith has played great. He's played.
It is kind of funny that
Yep.
most overtime goals just end up being shit like that.
Yeah,
Like,
just put it on there.
do you remember that many like
that's
there's
Stastny goal.
like real double overtime goals? They're always like some like, all right, a guy like
Kind of
crosses in front, or like it's just like a bat down from in front, or like it's always some cheese.
I will say, I really liked the 5 overtime point goal from last year. That was a nice.
There are some nice ones,
and
yes.
actually, the other day in the game 3, Florida, it was Lomberg scored in OT, and it was a nice play off of the faceoff, and it was a breakaway kind of thing, and it was a nice shot over. So that was a nice goal, but
There's
you
been
are
a lot of OT already.
friggin' right, dude. First 3
Holy
games,
shit.
first 3 games in general, and then the first 3 Washington games all went to OT.
It's been pretty nutty.
Boston's ahead right now, 2-0.
Friggin' right.
Oh, wow.
Make
Yeah,
it
they
2.
They're done.
I
They're
think
through
they just have
the
it.
second now. So.
Make it 2 for your boy. But yeah, so Edmonton's up 2-0. Hopefully they can pull this out because I have them winning. And also because, come on.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about the series. Not bad.
Yes, I mean the series.
Connor, yeah, that would be rough.
But if he doesn't show up, like man, this is when they need you. They don't need you for 100 points in the. Oh, they do need you for 100 points in the regular season.
But this isn't the first time that McDavid's just gone quiet in the playoffs.
The bubble last year, he scored like crazy.
Yeah.
He just like nobody else on his team could do a fucking thing.
Anything.
And also like Kane, Taves, Keith, and Crawford were all just like
turned the clock
we're just
back.
We're just gonna pretend it's 2013 again. It's fine until they run into Vegas, which fair.
Then they were like, it's 2020, bitches.
yeah. They kind of woke him up there. But
I have a quick question.
I don't know.
You said you said it's not the only time McDavid went quiet in the playoffs. Do you know what other series he went quiet?
I feel like it was 2019.
They didn't.
Or did they not make it in 2019?
I think the last time they made it before was like 17 against like they ended up losing against the Ducks.
Let me look at something here.
I can't look it up because my phone's on 1%.
Oh,
all right. I'm looking here. 20.
Edmonton Oilers playoffs by year.
Oh goodness. Edmonton Oilers playoffs by year. Because the thing with McDavid is you don't want him to turn into the best player that shits out in the playoffs. Like really, you don't want him to turn into a more intense version of Johnny Gaudreau. Because that would be upsetting.
How long does he want to stay in Edmonton if they want to continue to not surround him with anything?
He's kind of stuck there unless he makes a stink and is like, get me out, or
request, I don't know. Why would you
on the ice
request a trade? Then why would you trade Connor McDavid? I don't know.
I mean, the only reason you would
you trade people just because it's like, all right, like put your all into here because like the relationship is like you don't want to be here anymore.
Is soured.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
but why would you do that?
It would
You're
be
not going to win a Connor McDavid.
No, you
trade.
don't win it. But like, if he doesn't want to be there and like just starts pissing and moaning and doing all that stuff, and like it's clearly not gonna work out. Like if he stops playing his best, and you're just like, all right, well, I can get a whole lot of stuff for Connor McDavid. It won't be Connor McDavid, but
you better fucking get some stuff
You better not
Like-
reveal that he wants out.
But yeah. That's the other thing. Like, if everybody knows he wants leaving Edmonton, it's like, okay, you're really good.
Okay, 16. All right, so 16-17.
16-17.
16-17, they beat the Sharks in round 1 and lost in game 7 against the Ducks in round 2.
And that is one they're still pretty sore about, from what I remember, because there was a pretty bad non-call interference by affected the game 7. I think I don't know if it was in overtime or if it was late in the game or. Okay, yeah, it was
late in the game.
Kessler,
I think. Ryan Kessler.
Yeah, I believe Ryan Kessler got all up on Cam Talbot and fucked him up, and then it just didn't. They were like, "Nah, that's not goalie interference." And Edmonton's still pretty mad about that, from what I know. Yeah, that was last time
I could do that.
other than the bubble. It was then in the bubble, right?
Yeah. Sorry. Here, let me look. I still have it. Then they didn't qualify the next 2 years, and then it was the bubble, and they lost in the qualifying round.
Yeah. So.
And then before that, I can't even tell you. Oh, never mind. 02-03.
No, because they played. Didn't they play Carolina in the Cup final in 06?
Let me look here. I don't. It says 06.
I'm almost
05,
positive.
05, 06. Okay, yeah, here it is. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you're right. You're right. Yep.
I was like, I did not imagine that.
Yeah, I totally.
knew that's-
There was too many words, so I was like, oh, that's too much.
I think that was Dwayne Rollison's first miracle run before he did his miracle Lightning in 2010 or 2010? No,
I
2011.
can't remember back. then.
2011, because that was the year they made the conference finals and lost to before the Bruins won it. I think.
Really?
Didn't they?
That doesn't
I'm
sound
almost
familiar to
positive.
me, but that was a long time ago, and now I want to know. So let's look. I'm surprised I don't know this. Playoff.
Yeah.
2011, was it not?
Oh, not 2021. I don't remember Dwayne Rollison doing fuck all for the Lightning.
All right, so
I
back in the
think so.
2017 playoffs, so he wasn't quiet. McDavid had 6 goals in the 2 series. I think he had. I was just looking through it. If I looked at it right, he had 3 in the first series against the Sharks, and then 3 in the second series against the Ducks. But didn't have any goals in the last 2 games with the Ducks. So maybe that's what's sticking with me.
Yeah, that's fair.
You're right, Ben. By the way.
Really?
Yep.
Was it Rollison?
I don't know if it was Rollison, but you have they lost to the Bruins and it was
Bruh,
game
I'm going
7
to
too.
I'm going to his hockey DB right now. Playoffs, baby.
Oh, this
Where
is
is it?
so pissing me off, bruh. Look
Where
at
are
all of
playoffs?
this. Look at all of this. 2014, 2015, losing the Cup Finals. 2015, 2016, losing the Conference Finals. 17, 18, losing the Conference Finals.
Hey, Mike.
There's 18, 19.
It was
We don't
Dwayne
talk
Rollison. I think. Wait. Am I right? Yes.
What the
Where
fuck
is
are
his-
we talking about right now?
I don't know.
It
We've
was
gone
Dwayne
on a
Rollison.
tangent.
It was Dwayne Rollison in that run with Tampa, though, I think.
Okay, well that's interesting. But after this break, because I have to pee, we're gonna talk about some baseball. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Important. We need to talk about Nazem Kadri. We do.
Ooh, yep.
Oh, yeah.
We
I
need to
actually
talk
haven't
about
seen
that.
that hit. Let me wait. Let me watch the video.
Yeah.
I actually haven't either.
You don't want
Before we
to
move
see that
into-
hit.
It was
Before
right
we
to
go
the
to
head.
baseball,
I mean, if I'm going to talk about it, yeah, I do.
I would like to as well. Here's
I
one.
want to see it once.
Oh no.
Yeah. Nick, you saw it too.
This
Right,
is
right,
an
right.
ad.
Me. Oh wait, Nick, you shared it, right? Didn't you share it in our Twitter? That's how I saw it. Yeah, that was
I
wild.
think so.
Oh, should I have just gone to the Twitter? Oh well, whatever.
I
There's
don't
only
know.
6
I
seconds left.
think I shared it somewhere.
Insurance Brokers Association of Canada.
Oh, jeez.
Oh.
8-game suspension for that.
Bruh, he just moved into that. Oh, my.
It didn't look
Notori-
that bad in full speed. I got to look at it slower. I mean, it still looks pretty bad, but
You got to look at a different angle because I thought the same thing. I was like,
yeah,
oh, it's just a normal
from the
cross-ice
big
hit.
broadcast angle, it didn't look terrible.
Well, this video only has the big broadcast. Oh no, here's the other one. Yeah. No,
Oh!
you get the corner angle, and you see his shoulder go square into his chin.
Yeah. And you can see him just making a run straight at him, so he wasn't
Yeah, it's-
blatantly going after him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the interesting thing about that, though, is after Kadri does it, he doesn't look like that's what he intended to do. He intended to blow the guy up, but I don't think he intended to go for the head. That being said,
Okay.
he only hit head.
Ah!
Yeah.
But Nazem
Okay.
Kadri is notorious for going after. This isn't his first
And
time getting
exactly.
suspended this year
Yeah.
for a dirty hit. I think he's
Is
got
it?
No, this year, I think
This year, I think it
I
is.
don't think.
This
Yeah, I
year,
don't
or
think
is
there's
it-
been anything this year.
Okay.
Yes,
I
welcome
know
back,
he's-
everybody.
He's up to like I saw the stat.
yeah, do
and
we
I don't-
wanna-
I don't remember what it is, but it's like 12 or 15 games worth of suspensions for dirty hits.
At this point,
He-
he has
he's-
now
yeah.
been suspended for more than half of his available playoff games.
That's rough.
Oh yeah, I know. He's
Yeah,
got
his thing
suspended,
is his thing is he every year in the playoffs does a dumb
Seems
thing.
to do
in
something
the-
that ends up with
in the
suspensions.
first round that ends up.
Yes.
And I don't really have he
It
that
was-
yeah that was the and he had a really rocking year, but 2 years before that he did both times.
Yeah.
So he's 3 out of 4 now. So that's not what you want.
Yeah, in the 1 year, he has a great year. Like,
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Well, they couldn't afford to lose him last year. Like they didn't have forwards, right? So they probably
issue was
were
they
like,
didn't have
"Do
goalies."
not do anything stupid because we need you to stay in. Otherwise, we don't have
like
anybody
that
else except
friggin-
McKinnon."
It's like that friggin' there was a video, I think it's from the 18 Cup Finals, where it's before they all get on the ice. It's in the tunnel, and Ovi literally walks up to Tom Wilson. He's like, "Don't do anything fucking stupid." Like right before the game, he's like, "Don't do anything fucking stupid, man." Like he's
See,
like, "All
even
right,
they know,
just
even they
hold
know.
it together for this. Like, we got this shit. Just fucking
hold
give us-
yourself back.
don't put us on a 5-minute penalty kill or some shit."
That's funny.
Like, it's like that's basically what Kadri's like every time he comes to the playoff. But to the Tom Wilson angle, I agree. Nazem Kadri probably should have gotten a pretty big suspension for the hit, and then also his past history of doing things. But are we just now taking past history into
Yeah,
account
like,
for
why is it
suspension?
just now?
Yeah.
Like,
So I thought that
um,
personally, like, yes, that was a bad hit, and we talk about bad hits all the time.
We do.
8-game suspension. That's that
the
series
playoffs,
and the
too.
next series.
8 playoffs
in the
games.
playoff, 8 games in the
playoff games.
playoffs.
Now,
Yeah, my thought when I saw it, I was like, okay, they're getting no more this series. He's done this series,
Yeah.
but to say the whole next series after all the bullshit we've seen with Tom Wilson this year, now the PA stepping in and saying that's an 8-game suspension when he gets
playoff games, too.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Shit.
To
I
me,
lost it.
I'll
lost
pick it
it.
up. To me, that seems too much.
I thought
In
it was
the
a little much.
playoffs, that seems too much.
I don't even know if it's too much. It's just too much for considering what other things
Yeah.
get.
Yes.
It's
Like, in
it's at least that. It's at
Yeah.
least that. Like it's like
Yeah.
what I like.
But Tom
I don't
Wilson
know.
gets none. Yeah, it's not good. It's a bad situation.
Eric, you're the one who brought it up. What are your thoughts?
Yeah.
So, same thing. I mean, you guys all have kind of already said it. I do think, yeah, like it's like, wow, like 8 games, and the reasons they're given for the 8 games, past history, like the severity of like his past hits and stuff like that. Okay, like it's great. You're taking that into account. And 8 games, I am kind of in the same boat as you, Mike. I do think 8 games is too much. It's all right. It's this weird thing, right? People say like when playoff hockey is on, and like at the end of a game, it's the third period under 5 minutes, you can get away with murder. That's like the thing hockey
Pretty
fans know
much,
about.
yeah.
Like, yeah, you can.
Yeah, because you
Well,
go
and,
into a
like,
scrum after the
Yeah,
third
yeah.
period. It's done every game.
And
Refs don't
so-
want to call anything either.
Yeah, and so we've accepted that that's kind of part of the game, which, like, it is. Like, it's mostly just jabbing and talking. Nothing ever terrible happens. And I think that we're on that weird precipice where, like, I think like if you're setting a precedent, like 8 games for doing shit like that in the playoffs, that's important because like think about it, Tom Wilson, like he could just be like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna end some dude's fucking series by just destroying him, and I'm gonna get probably 3 games max. That being said, I think playoff suspensions should be like 3-4 games max, but I think when past history is taken into account, up to 8 games makes sense to me. It does.
I would
So that hits to make that hit a regular season hit instead of a playoff hit. What's he getting?
I would be
Probably-
surprised if it was 8 like regular
Yeah,
season.
That's what I was
Like
thinking.
it'd
I'm
be like
that's
4
a
or
bad
5
hit.
regular season probably.
It's a bad hit, but like you see bad hits
Well,
like that all the time.
Also, like I don't know.
Yeah.
Like
Tom
what-
Wilson
what about-
Tom Wilson could throw Panarin over the glass and they'd be like,
Yeah.
$5,000.
Panarin
make me-
provoked him.
Don't make me
Yeah.
do it 5,000 more.
Don't make me give you a 5,000 after the next game too. That's their way of getting around. All right, we're gonna give you 10,000. It's gonna be in 2 installments.
Yeah, but I do think the way this season has went, I do feel like that is unfair to it is. It's unfair to Kadri based on the way
Which
the rest of the season
I
went.
saw before we got on. I think he
So.
filed an appeal for it.
Oh,
Yeah.
did he?
He
Yeah.
should.
Okay.
He should.
So,
I don't think he's a malicious player.
No.
That's
Here's
my
no.
thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
he was it was a
That looked pretty
I don't know
malicious.
if he's I
but
don't know if he's a malicious player, but he was a dangerous player.
It was absolutely
like,
his only point of contact was his head.
Was that yeah? And he came at it like
It was a
a fucking freight train. Like he was going. Like he got a few strides.
See
So,
now
like,
the difference
He had
here.
to appeal
Like,
it.
the difference here. Tom Wilson was smart about it with Carlo. He was like, "Listen, it's only going to be head, but there's boards behind it for a little bit of cushion." So that's what it was.
He's being so courteous.
Yeah, he's being
to
so
Carlo. He's not gonna like lay him out in ice. Actually, I think that would make it worse because then you get the impact of
Yeah,
hitting against
yeah.
the boards.
Well, there's
But yeah,
like
it's like I don't get it. I don't
Yeah.
get the NHL.
So this
I continue
so-
to not get the NHL. That's
so he is appealing it.
Okay.
If he's still unsatisfied, he can get it appealed again by an independent arbitrator. But this suspension, if it stands, marks the 6th time Kadri's been suspended by the NHL, totaling 16 playoff games and 11 regular season games.
wow.
16 playoff games, dude.
So
Yeah.
like, I think this was mentioned on HSP as well, but because they were talking Kadri because
Yep.
Leafs. But like, so if you're a playoff team, if you're reasonably going to be expecting to be a playoff team every year, and you're counting on him being a major part of your team, how much can you trust him?
How much can you count on him?
How much can you trust him to go into the playoffs and to take the words of Alex Ovechkin, do something stupid?
No, to not do something stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
And he's definitely a key part of that Colorado team.
He's a
Like,
good
yeah,
player.
He's
He's a
have
good,
guys
he's a really
around
good
them.
forward.
It's like
It's like Tom
so
Wilson.
they play Vegas next series. If with Kadri, okay.
He'd certainly be better. To have
He'd definitely
him.
help.
Like if Vegas wins that series, which we all think they
Let's
probably will.
go.
I don't know. Probably
With
they
Kadri,
could.
they have a better chance of winning. Without
Yes.
Kadri, they have a lesser chance of winning.
Yeah.
Yes, they still
Absolutely.
have Rantanen, they still have McKinnon, they still have Landeskog, they still
Which-
have Grubauer who's playing good.
So,
But-
was
You just lost
sweeping
the center.
St. Louis the wrong play? Because it's 8 games. Stretch it out. Because he's not gonna.
They don't want to play. They don't want to play with fire like that. They couldn't help it, man. They tried. They
He's-
tried to
he's-
lose. They
so
So
couldn't
now
do
he's
it.
down to 6, right?
He's still
He's
got
down
6 games left. That's most of a series. That's all but one of a series if it goes that. So like if it goes to 7, you might get it. Probably would prefer to have him not be suspended and be playing and
Yes.
like. But then it comes all back around to like I don't understand why when so many other plays just get
Nothing.
jack all.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
But I don't think the Department of Player Safety is going to start making sense anytime soon. So
I wouldn't
don't
count
we
on
love
it.
a great league? Our,
Oh,
our
boy.
league's so great.
Oh boy.
Holy
Boys.
fuck!
This is gonna be a long one, boys. I just looked at how long it's been.
Well, how long have we been?
I've been recording for an hour and 12. and
Oh, wow.
we're not quite done yet.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's okay though.
We like to talk sometimes, you know.
All right, Nicholas, your moment to shine again.
Oh,
Six.
did he do well in golf?
There's been.
You're muted.
You're muted as well, but there have
Sorry.
been. He's doing things. There have been 6 no-hitters in the first 7 weeks in the MLB season.
Huh?
To put that into context, the most ever in a season, if I have this correct from Wikipedia, is 8, and that's in a whole season. So they are cruising
baseball
to
is
kill that.
changing the style of baseball, and it pisses me off because it's changing, right? So
I was
teams
gonna
get out
ask
there,
about this.
and it's a hit a home run or strikeout league now. They don't do any of the small ball things that everything like hit a double, move a runner over, that type
Really?
of shit. It's not how they play anymore. You get a who was it last night? I can't remember the team. Maybe it was the Cubs. I think it was the Cubs. So Jock Peterson's the first batter of the game, goes up, hits a home run. Leadoff batters in the past, let's say 10 years ago, were not expected to go jack home runs every single time. Your shortstops were not expected to jack home runs. These guys are all swinging for the fences or striking out. I'm sure and you're seeing it with all these no-hitters getting thrown. These pitchers are good, yes. They're throwing 90 plus, which is higher than
that for
batters
years,
have ever seen. Like the velocity average for pitchers is higher than it's ever been. But these guys are stepping up to bat, trying to crush the fucking ball, hit the skin off of it, just hit it. You're hitting against a 98 mile an hour fastball. If you just make contact, it's going deep anyway, right? Don't just swing out of your goddamn shoes and try to crush it 500 feet.
So no one's going for just like base hits.
No, so like you'll see a lot like you'll see like a 5-3 win, and you have 3 guys with 3 home runs. And one's a 2-run home run, and there's some solo shots. So it's not like you're hitting doubles to move or getting base hits to move runners in. You're just trying to fucking hit the ball out of the park. And yes, I get it, and it makes the game more fun. But then you have all these no-hitters getting thrown.
I don't know.
Does it
I kind of like
home runs
the
are entertaining. Home runs are entertaining.
They are.
I'd rather, but like okay, but look at the hit average in a game. You get like 6-7 hits a game.
Yeah, I feel like
And you're winning 5-0. So where's the runs coming from? Home runs.
Right. Interesting. I feel like that. So the game plan is now to just we're
hit the ball
every time
really hard.
Yeah. So like when the Cubs won the World Series, I remember watching certain batters on that team, specifically their shortstop, and he just swings so hard. And I'm like, why are you trying to hit the ball out of the park? That's not your job. You are not on that team to hit a home run. Like in the past, your home run hitters were like your left field, right field, your left fielders and your right fielders, your third basemen and your first basemen. Those were your power guys, right?
They were the
and now
lifters.
that's what everybody's trying to do. And I understand it from their side of things. Like they want to be as good as they can so they can make as much money as they can. The best way to prove how good they are is how many home runs they're going to hit a season. But then you're seeing batting averages. You're seeing batting averages at like 0.27. So it's like low. Like these guys are hitting low batting average. You're not seeing a 500 batting average anymore, which was 50% of the time you get a base hit.
Mm-hmm. So I would agree. Like home runs are cool, but I like watching dudes run bases.
Yeah,
that's the thing about baseball that makes it hard for a new person to like, because you see, it's not like how we grew up. You're trying to hit the ball.
Just trying to hit it.
Play the game the right way. It's these guys who are just going up and swinging, right?
Yeah.
And
that would just get really monotonous.
As a pitcher growing up, like I enjoy watching a pitcher throw a no-hitter or a perfect game. Like it's cool because it doesn't happen. Like you have to get every batter out.
Yeah.
So
you have to be perfect, basically.
Yeah. And it's really cool to watch. But then you see 8 games in a quarter, not even a quarter of a season. They just started. Not that long ago.
Yeah, because the baseball season especially, it's September, October is when it ends?
October playoffs.
Yeah, so We're barely into the season, and they're already gonna break the friggin' record in a month.
So here's a cool thing, and I know this is kind of off topic of the perfect game. So he currently is not the home run leader in the league, but can you take a guess at what position player? Ben knows then. What position player?
Let me guess.
Had the most home runs? It would have been going into Tuesday night. He had the lead.
What position he plays?
Yeah.
Probably one of the outfielders, eh?
Wrong. So there's a pitcher. Get
What?
this.
A pitcher.
I don't know where he's from.
What?
He's either Japanese. I think he's Japanese.
What's his name?
So I can't ever say his first name right. It's like something Otani, right? And he's got the highest ERA in baseball, lowest ERA in baseball. And he was leading the league in home runs hit because he plays for the Angels. The Angels will play him as a DH, let him hit when he's not pitching because he's hitting so many home runs for them. Like the other leader, the league leader for home runs right now is Ronald Acuna Jr., who just broke it last night. He's 2 ahead of him, I think, with 18. But Otani had 16 home runs in the beginning of the season, and he's a pitcher. You don't see that. That is not a thing. And for a long time, I was like, "Oh, this guy is nothing. Like he's just one of those gimmicky players." And I was talking to Trevor the other day, and Trevor really likes this guy. I'm like, Trevor, I was wrong. This guy's like legit. You don't see a pitcher hit that many home runs.
Well,
it's not a thing.
That's because, correct me if I'm wrong, but like pitchers, because their whole thing is throwing the ball fast and putting curve on it and all that, their workout is going to be way different compared to their like physical regimen is going to be way different to someone who's just trying to smoke the ball.
Yeah, and a pitcher's expectation is not to hit. Like they don't want to have a pitcher out there on the field extra so they don't get hurt. Like if you have your stud pitcher batting all the time and then have him,
he's gonna be tired.
People get hit by pitches all the time. There was a guy who got hit in the face for the Mets the other night and broke his nose and like really screwed up his face.
Yeah.
Well, you got
if you can smoke dingers.
Yeah. Sorry, Ben. I've seen you try to get in there. You can go for it.
It's all good. I interrupt you guys.
Hitting dingers.
It's Shohei Otani, and he is Japanese. Or Shohei is my best guess. It's SHOA.
I think you're right. It sounds
Shohei
right.
Yeah.
I know his last name is Otani.
There we go.
I just don't understand.
Some more diversity. More diversity in baseball.
He seems to be pretty cool. I saw that story as I was freaking at work designing news pages because I was doing a couple sports pages, just doing like the Wire one, like the AP Wire, like national news. And I saw that and I thought that was real because I asked Joey, I was like, that's not normal, right? I don't know baseball, but I know that a pitcher just fucking rocking dingers like all.
Yeah, so like pitchers do hit home runs. Like when they hit batting practice, there are some pitchers that can really hit the skin off the ball. Yeah. And it's not uncommon to see when a NL or National League, because American League don't have pitchers hit. National League.
Still such a weird rule to me. Yeah, like within the league, like essentially based on what I'm just gonna call it conference. I know, but like based on which conference you're in, one player just like a position does a completely different thing that it doesn't in the other conference.
Yeah, so National League will have your pitcher hit. American League has a designated hitter that your pitcher does not hit that. So like the Yankees, if the Yankees play the Red Sox, no pitchers hit. If the Cubs play the Brewers, the pitchers hit. It's weird.
But correct me if I'm wrong, Nick, but like if the Yankees played a National League team in their ballpark, would they not have to?
I don't know how that works because I'm trying to remember how playoffs work.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I think that's really something weird. I think I remember hearing that like in like a World Series final or something.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if they go with a DH, and I think they're trying to go to get the DH into both leagues if they haven't done it already. Maybe I'm behind the times and they already have the DH in the NL. I don't know because I haven't followed baseball very closely this year because hockey.
Friggin' right.
Hockey, baby.
Don't worry, we'll get into baseball season in August, end of July.
Yeah, we won't have any hockey to talk about.
That's the slow part of baseball season. You want October.
All right.
Yeah,
can
let's just
get
talk
into it in
about
October.
like dead middle of summer baseball and like the indulgence of the.
Oh, they hit the ball a little bit more.
That's probably like that's the equivalent of in a January, February hockey, where it's just like, all right, man,
Going into the All-Star
it's
break.
regular season. I got it. Yep, the games. Can we the playoffs? Is that in 3 months? I feel like that's probably
Yeah.
like July baseball.
Oh, goodness. Let's talk about golf then, eh?
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about golf. We're going to start with some professional stuff because I don't know if any of you guys saw. Nick,
Big
I saw
Phil.
Philly
Nick might have
Mix.
Phil Mickelson
Philly Mix.
becomes the oldest player ever to win a major championship in golf
That was
history.
pretty crazy.
The
Did
oldest
you see
player.
his 50, right?
hole though, he shot a 10 on a hole.
Did he
jeez.
really?
It's good to know the pros can do it
I don't
sometimes
know. So
too. That makes me
basically,
feel
what
better.
happened there? I only saw like a clip of when he was putting, and it wasn't even. I want to say it was this weekend, but I might be even wrong. I'm like 99% sure this happened today.
Let me look.
Um,
Let me look here.
Bro,
Maybe
imagine
it was
shooting a
yesterday.
10 on a
I think-
hole
I
and then
think it was
winning a
today,
major anyway.
So he's on the
Mickelson.
green. He puts it down the hill. It rolls past the hole. He puts it again before the ball stops.
That was not this year. I know when that was from because I've seen the
Okay.
documentary.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
Because he was wearing the same clothes. That's why I was like, I don't know if it was today or not.
that was the 2017 U.S. Open, or maybe the 2018 U.S. Open. I can't remember. It was one of the U.S. Opens, and it was bad.
But regardless, good for Phil. It's been a long time. It's nice to see.
Yeah, it's been a while, and he recently this year or maybe or late last year did a bunch of Champions Tour events. Just because he didn't qualify or didn't make it into the regular PGA Tour events, and of course he won the Champions Tour events because he's able when he plays well to hang with all the pros, which the Champions Tour is still pros technically, but they're just older. So he friggin' smoked everybody there. And then so he's back.
Brooks was on
won a major.
Brooks was right on his heels all day.
He was
though.
there.
Like they started the round today, and I think Mickelson was at 7 under, and I think Koepka was right on his tail at 6 under.
When they started, he was one shot back. So
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was excited to see that because it's been a while, and he has one. So he has one major championship that he needs to get for the career Grand Slam. He needs to win the U.S. Open, and he got a special exemption for that, and that's next month at Torrey Pines, and so it's looking a little better now. Looking like he might.
What does that
actually have a
mean?
shot.
Like he just because he won, he gets an automatic bid in or something?
No,
like that?
so he had a. I don't know how special exemptions work. You get like a. I don't know. It's probably because he's so well known, and he's like a big name. That's my guess. Is that he just
that he can just go play.
They were like, "Hey, you're like the second, third biggest name in golf, so we'd like
They
you to
do that
come
with
play."
the Masters too.
It is
That's how they thought
fun
that Rory,
to.
or not Rory. That's how they thought
Ricky
Ricky
get in?
Fowler might get into the Masters last year, but they didn't do it for him. But yeah, they do that sometimes.
Fun to see that every sport does have like a weird little thing, like
Yeah.
because they're all just made up shit, and there's always some little thing that somebody comes. Oh yeah, that's a rule.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know how
The
it
Twins
works.
definitely got to boost his his
Confidence.
mentality going into Torrey Pines though.
Friggin' right.
That's
I want him
luck.
to win. I want him to get the career Grand Slam.
You a big Phil Mickelson guy there, man?
I'm not a big Mickelson guy, but he's lefty, so like
Oh,
I
lefty's got to
sort of
together.
is like, you know what a beast.
Lefties got to stick together.
Yeah, we got to stick together. There's not enough of us around. But yeah, we also had our own little golf adventures this weekend. All of us except for Eric. This is the part of the podcast where Eric just sits back and listens.
I'm learning. This is just like a Zoom.
So
a Zoom
let me start
grad
it off with my Friday night round. I shot
Yeah.
a 43.
Oh my god,
43.
Jesus, you're
front
gonna be
nine.
smoking me every time I come down. Oh my god.
No,
No, he shits his
Yeah, you are.
he shits his pants when he plays with me. Don't ask me
Is it-
why.
I shot a 43 at Boston Spa Friday night. And then we kind of fucked off on the back nine, and I shot a 53 because none of us were trying. And we shot the front
96.
nine in 2 hours. We shot the back nine in an hour and a half.
Oh dang.
And so we went a little fast on the back.
Hey guys, I have
yeah.
a question.
Then we get out.
Eric's got a
What's up,
question.
In golf, do you clap twice when someone does something good, or no? Is that a myth?
I say,
What?
wow, you lucky son of a bitch. How'd you
I'll
do
just
that?
be like, that was a fucking nice shot, bud. And then that's about it.
My golf etiquette is really poor.
Okay,
You friggin' right.
I'm talking to the right people. I'm
Yeah.
talking to-
Yeah.
He waits.
Specifically me, yeah.
Danielle hits her drive, and 2 seconds after she makes contact, like it lands, and as soon as it lands, Nick's like, all right, let's get going. Let's go. I want to
So I
go.
rode with Logan yesterday, and I said all right at least 10 times. I got a problem. I just want to go.
He
Like,
wants to hit the ball.
that's probably a big part of why my game is so like sporadic for scoring.
Yeah, you gotta relax, dude.
Because like I'm always like, I just want to go up and hit. I want to go. And Logan's like, dude, you need to relax.
Yeah, he literally.
But anyway,
he
yesterday,
he
let's
lit-
talk about our round yesterday.
Yeah. Well, he literally used the word "ondele" in the cart.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
He was like,
Oh,
all right,
geez,
let's go,
Nicholas.
ondele.
Gotta chill there, bud.
And Logan's like, dude, I'm never riding with you again.
And I don't think he ever will.
I'm gonna make you go with Danielle. See how that goes.
And then y'all played yesterday?
Yeah. So yesterday we went to Eagle Crest with it was Nick, Logan, myself, and Danielle. It went all right. I felt like I played like crap, and I ended up shooting a 96. So I did okay, but there were so many times where I could have done so much better. I had like 3 birdie putts that I just one lipped out.
I had a lot of 3 putts yesterday, which kind of fucked me over. I had a lot of I hit my driver really good.
You
I
did.
haven't hit it this good ever.
It's been a while.
And I hit a lot of straight drives, which was nice. And so hole 10 on the back 9, I crush it off the tee.
Yeah.
And
Oh my god. Yeah, he had like 30 yards in.
Yeah, so I chip on and 3 putt.
Yeah. Yep.
Actually, no, I went into the bunker. I chipped on and missed it and went in the bunker, chipped out and 3 putt. So I got it, or maybe I 2 putted that one, but still. It's like you hit good off the tee, and this happened to all of us yesterday. We had some really good drives and then fuck it up on the next shot, hit a duff, and
It's a rule.
okay.
It's a rule.
Yeah.
I used a mulligan to fix it one time.
Yeah, so did I. I wasted my back 9 mulligan on a duff shot in the fairway. Said, fuck this, I'm hitting it again. Didn't do any better.
Yeah.
Well, I know Benny played as well.
Yeah.
How did that go?
It was
You got
well,
some tree help, we saw.
that was
Oh,
that
yeah.
was that was some nice shit right there. But I started my day off by in muggy 80-degree weather. I decided to walk the course.
Yeah.
Did you have shorts on at least, or did you wear
I
pants?
did. No, I had
Hey.
shorts on.
That's good. That's good.
And for the first couple holes, there's some nice cloud cover. So okay, I was like, all right, this is pretty nice. And then by hole 4, that was dead.
Yeah.
There was no breeze, and cloud cover had gone. It was all sun. And it wasn't going well. The best hole
Where'd
on
you
the
play?
day, played at Bluff, which
That was bluff.
is that was Bluff.
I didn't even
Yeah.
recognize it, dude.
Neither did I. I thought it was Eric's.
That was the second hole of Bluff. No, that was the first hole of Bluff. That was the first hole. I hit it from
Oh,
that
okay,
tee that you
yeah.
got to go by that tree, and then there's like the trees and brush,
Yep.
and then green. I bounced it off the trees and brush near the green and bounced it out, and then did a really terrible chip and ended that hole with a 6.
Did a really
and then the
terrible
next,
chip.
and then the next hole, I literally almost hit a man. Because it was number 2 at Bluff, and I put it you know how number 2 is it's tee box.
Yeah.
There's some trees along this line, and then goes around, and then the green is behind the tree. here.
Yeah. And there's
Um,
houses that you can hit.
I tried to put it over the trees and near the green,
Oh.
and then I put it over the trees and then slightly a bit to the left of the green by some of those tiny trees over there. I didn't think it was going long. Then I heard it hit something metal. And then I heard one of those guys over there yell. I was like, sorry, and then I had to go up over. It's gonna be that long. I'm my bad, and it didn't hit anybody, and they were decent enough about it. Like they were fine, they were nice. So I was like, okay, that
You
was
put
lucky.
it into one of the houses?
No, I think I hit. He said I hit like they had like a boat lift that was like brought up onto the water or out onto the
Jesus.
land rather. Like I think it was similar to like the one that's up at the lake, tiny little
Okay.
like. And so I think that was what I hit,
Dang.
and then I had a really nice chip on that.
Ben's been
green.
lifting.
Yeah, it was a
That'd be a
6-iron shot that I put it like 170. I was like, I think it was just a weird coincidence. Like I think I might have just hit the club, like struck it weird or something, because like
Struck it the way you're
was odd.
supposed to. That's the way I
No,
always.
like I think I might have caught it at like a bigger angle, like or
Yep.
something.
I see what you're saying.
But so it wasn't a great day. My best hole was a bogey on a par 3, which it was that
was the
par
best
3.
hole?
Yeah, it was
Oh,
that
dear.
par 3. Yeah, it was that par 3. Well, it'll make more sense in a second. It was that par after the first long par 5, the par 3 along the water at Bluff.
Oh, yeah.
That I normally put it in the water on. I put it into the left bunker, got a nice out, and then 2-putted. I almost 1-putted, but I almost got a par. But I was pissing away strokes and putting all day. I still have not figured out putting.
I've been having some problems too.
And then because it was going so poorly and I was fucking hot, I was hot. Like it was bad. I stopped after 10 because I didn't have a good 8 or 9. I got a 6 on that par 3, number 9. I wasn't feeling it.
That 100-yard par 3.
The really short par 3. I
Yeah,
always mess that one up too, dude.
I 4-putted that. I 4-putted that.
So you were on
Yeah.
in 2.
Yeah, I 4-putted that.
Oh no.
You cross the road, play 10.
I crossed the road well. That was I crossed the road being like, new 9. I don't feel very good, but hey, let's see. And then immediately nuked my, and that is when I left. But I ended the day. I ended the day with a 58 on 9, which, as it being my bad day, is still okay for me.
That's all right.
Like, because I'm still shooting for like with where I'm at right now. I'm shooting to get between 50 on each night, just because I am trying to get back to that. Because I'm not there. I'm just
Don't
still
set
not
too high of expectations for yourself yet. Yeah.
right. I'm just kind of trying to gradually do it, but it wasn't a good day, and I was just like, yeah, walking was not the right idea.
That would be a little much there.
Well,
On a different
anyway,
note about golf,
wasn't that great.
Aaron and I go to the range today.
Oh,
I didn't really want to go. 'Cause it was hot as balls out today, and I didn't really want to go back outside because she and I went for a run this morning, and it was like,
oh, nice.
bad.
That would have been bad.
So she cons me into going to the range with her. I hit like 3 balls just because I didn't really want to be there, but I was like, whatever, you can use my clubs.
Yeah.
She hits,
Oh,
you know, it's Aaron. You guys have seen her swing a golf club before. We were up at the lake.
Yeah.
It's painful, yeah.
It's just like not comfortable. And she looks at it. She's like, I look like I'm mentally challenged swinging a golf club. I'm like, you're not wrong. Like, you do look really bad. I'm like, it's because your arms are so limp. You're just like,
Yeah, she's got no, like,
You do have to actually like
You've-
do a thing. Like you actually have
she
to like
says to me,
make a
she's like-
movement.
Yeah,
Like,
she's
you
like,
can't
well, you're
just-
supposed to keep your arms straight. I'm like, yeah, you are keeping your front arm straight, which you're supposed to. That's good. But when you're coming back through, you're just letting it all go, and it's like a pendulum hitting it. She hit a couple drives like 150. I was like, that's pretty good. But it's like you're not strong enough with the club. But she gets up there with my 5-wood. She hits a hosel rocket right off. And I don't know if I ever went with you to this range, but it's a pad. It's off pads, right? So there's like 17 bays. She hits her hosel rocket and it hits the fence to the left of us. Like it was like bad.
And I was like, Aaron, you're fucking lucky there's a fence there because you would have just hit that woman right there.
What?
She's like, I don't even know what I'm doing.
Jeez.
Dude,
Quick question.
what's up, Eric?
What's a hosel rocket? I have
So
no idea.
the hosel of the club is where the club head meets the shaft. It's like the heel. Like normal people call it the heel, but Nick got yelled at once, and some dude was like, "It's called the hosel."
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, and then Nick was
And now I
like,
call it a hosel.
Nick was
But
like, "Suck
the
my
Guys
hosel."
like that
Hosel
are what
rocket
make
is
me
cool,
hate.
though.
Like it's like there's so much. It's not.
Yeah, there's some pretentious weenies.
Yeah.
Yes.
A similar story, real quick, just because we are getting on there in time, but real quick, similar story. Me and Danielle went in the winter to a heated range one time, and she was doing that a lot. It wasn't she wasn't hosel rocketing it, but it was going so far off the toe. She bounced one over the wall into my
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I know.
Apartment.
I've been to that range.
Yes.
I know what you're talking.
Yeah, it was the
That's
one that
bad.
we all went with Derek.
So
And she bounced it over
Eric,
into my thing, and I was like, Danielle, what are you doing? She's like, I don't know.
yeah, Eric. So essentially, what Aaron did was she hit it off the heel of the club, the shaft.
Okay.
At that angle, it's going to be so sharp, it's coming back that way.
Instead of
That
going this
way.
way, it goes this way.
So she hits it, and it's like I was like, I've done it before.
Yeah,
We've all done it
You've all
before.
done that.
But I was like,
Yeah.
Aaron, you gotta be careful. There's a ton of people around because I didn't even want to pull in. Every single bay was taken except for like 3, and it was like one in between like groups. So I was like,
Yeah.
I hate it when it's packed.
I hate being
'Cause
around
it's
people
like
when I'm.
if you fuck up
practicing.
and miss hit, you could hit somebody, and it's just so tight in those bays. And I was like, all right, we can go, but I'm not hitting any because I don't even trust myself here. So
Yeah, well, Aaron's got the itch now because you've been going so much, and you and I and Danielle have been playing a bunch together. That's why Aaron's got the itch. She wants to.
Like I want to do
Really
stuff
is.
with friends.
Yeah, really.
she
I
says
think that's what it
she's
is.
like, I don't think this is my game. I'm like, I mean, if
It
you
takes
Well,
you more
you
than
just gotta.
It takes you
kinda-
more than 2 range
Yeah.
sessions.
yeah,
That's
she's been to
the-
the range like 5 times at the most. I'm like, I don't know how
Takes way
you'd be out
more
on
than
a
that.
course. It's hard to say because like she's trying to aim at things when she's out there and she's hitting it in the general direction, but you don't really know like shot placement until you really get out there because you could hit missiles off a tee at a range and then go out there on the course and just play atrocious.
Hit a missile and it ends up out of the hole.
My missiles tend to find their way to the right a little.
The way you hooking them there?
Yeah.
Or wait, no, that's a slice. That's a slice for you.
I hook with all of my irons, but when I drive, I generally slide.
I hooked a drive today, really bad.
At least I
Okay.
have been lately.
I don't hook
I don't
drive,
know.
and I hooked a drive.
You hooked one.
didn't like
you hooked one on the course yesterday. I remember because I was like, "Hey, that's new."
I probably hit 5 shots today when I was with her. My first 2 were low, like
The stinger, the
low
low stinger. He
trajectory
was
drive.
hitting like he was hitting like a stinger yesterday. And it was
Damn,
working. It was
look at-
working.
go.
I don't think it was on purpose.
No, it
Uh,
wasn't.
Hey, when a
Anyway.
golf shot like doesn't go how you want it to, still like nice. Yeah, it was a plan.
Yeah, you guys like
Right.
that.
Yeah. You just be, oh yeah, hell yeah, right where I wanted it. Let's go.
Exactly how I meant it to happen.
I totally meant to fucking ping pong it off the tree into the.
Yeah,
one of
like
these days
yesterday,
that's gonna happen for me with the amount I get good bounces. Like
Yeah, that's BS.
it is pretty dumb because it happened the other day when I was. I didn't like it wasn't anything crazy. 2 or 3 times where it was going right or left, and it would like hit off a greenside tree and just come down in the rough next to the green.
I hit a nice faded iron shot onto the green. I don't know if it was yesterday or if it was Friday, but it was a really nice shot. And it was like, did I plan it? No. Did it look good? Yes.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? On that note, we're gonna end this off. I would say we can do some snack time action, but I don't have
It's been
anything.
a really long episode.
I don't have anything prepared, and we're already pretty late. So
How long are we?
our recording's at 1:42, so we're probably looking at an hour and a half.
My goodness.
Which is-
Well,
which is
I
longer.
hope you all enjoy our
Yes.
first episode of covering playoff hockey.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. And we're gonna go because we haven't heard him speak. We didn't understand that, but since we
Habs in 5.
oh, Habs in 5 is what he said. All right, for those who are wondering, because we haven't heard him speak in about half an hour. Eric, give us some closing thoughts, man.
Some closing thoughts. All right.
What are your predictions going through the
Yeah.
week? Yeah, pick your predictions. That's
What's
what we
going to happen?
Okay, first off, did the Bruins win?
Oh,
God,
yeah,
check,
actually,
check,
yeah.
check.
We probably wouldn't
Yeah,
know.
They
let's
did.
go.
So Mike is correct,
Damn.
and Nick is
Let's
correct.
go, Nick. That's
Ah,
2,
Ben.
boys.
Fuck you.
That's 2 correct.
And the Oilers are up 4-1 on the Jets, so it looks like the
Okay.
Oilers are going to get one.
And
Still gonna be
by the
down.
by the way, guys, the Capitals outshot the Bruins 41-19 and lost 3-1. Just want to say.
Wow.
Yeah.
Rask.
Okay.
Rask
Yeah,
is
Tuukka.
here.
Or was Tuca in, or was it their
It
new guy,
had to be,
Swayman?
dude.
So here are my closing thoughts. School starts up for me again this week, but playoff hockey is also continuing. And between school and the Islanders, my week can either be a total shit show or a really blessed week, and I'm hoping for the latter.
And that's all based on how the Islanders
Yes.
play.
Exactly.
They're going to win, buddy. They're going
But
to
no, yeah. Closing thoughts. Yeah, playoff hockey is really entertaining so far.
Friggin' right.
To everyone watching this, you're probably going to spend an hour and a half watching this, so you have time to sit down and watch some playoff hockey. So go do it.
Friggin' right. Yeah.
Whatever team interests you the most, whether it's a
win. Anybody
logo, a
still
player.
here other than Danielle? God, thank you.
We get we get like 17 views a week.
Yes, but Nick, you think all 17 of them are doing the whole hour 20?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So anyway, as Eric was saying, whatever team you feel like watching, whether it's the Lightning or the Lightning, go check it out. Get some watch in there. Go Bolts.
Hey, sir.
Don't cheer for the toilet seats.
Fuck
that was
you.
a
Get
really,
a new-
you guys,
get
that
a
was a
new
really
something.
that was a really good water sound effect there. I like that. We're gonna finish it off there. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next week. Go Bolts, go Habs, and go Isles, I suppose.
I suppose.
Thanks, Mike.
See ya.